So this week, the college football news cycle has been dominated by one storyline, and for good reason, and that was that Jimbo Fisher was fired from Texas A&M and the subsequent coaching search that the Aggies now have to go through. Today, we need to break this down, because given the current landscape of college football, it's more important than ever that Texas A&M make the right hire, especially with the existence of the transfer portal, and today, we've got to talk about it. But before we can, as always, y'all know the drill, I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Do you believe the Aggies will make the correct hire? And let me know who stands out to you. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and comment down below. Those interactions are massive for content creators such as myself, and it really helps us with our channels getting recognized and maintained in the YouTube algorithm. But having said all of that, let's dive into this. As I alluded to in the intro, easily one of the biggest storylines of the year is that Jimbo Fisher has been fired from Texas A&M. And even though the results haven't been where Aggie fans expected them to be, the reason this is such a massive storyline is the buyout that Texas A&M has to eat. It is one of the largest buyouts I've ever seen in my life, and if I'm not mistaken, it is the largest buyout a university will have to eat when firing a coach, which makes this a little bit unique. But there are other circumstances that make this such a big story, namely the existence of the transfer portal in its current capacity. Because whenever Jimbo Fisher was fired, there was an immediate 30-day window that began for Texas A&M football players to enter into the transfer portal. And that's important because every coach in the nation is looking at that roster, licking their chops, because Texas A&M and Jimbo Fisher, though they haven't managed to win big games, they've won big battles on the recruiting trail time and time again. In fact, at Texas A&M right now is the #1 recruiting class ever recorded per 24/7 Sports. You can bet your bottom dollar that every other coach in the nation is sitting there hoping for more turmoil at Texas A&M so that those guys hit the transfer portal, test the waters, and see what's out there. But another reason why this is so important is not only do A&M players have a 30-day window which opened up whenever Jimbo Fisher was fired, the transfer portal officially opens up in December anyways, which gives these A&M players an extended period of time to make the decision, do they want to stay or do they want to go? And that is massive. That means Texas A&M needs to give these players a direction, and they need to do it sooner rather than later. In fact, I was of the mindset that if you're going to fire Jimbo Fisher, you probably already have a name in mind that you've been able to at least talk about, float around, get the okay for, so that way you could present this to your players. Because this is not like previous years where you could have a coach get fired and then solve this in the offseason. Name an interim head coach and then just take this into the offseason. With the existence of the transfer portal not only opening up in December, with the 30-day window opening up immediately, results and answers have to be given now in college football faster than ever, and I am fascinated to see what Texas A&M does. But now that we understand the why, let's talk about the who, because there have been so many big names thrown out, from Mike Elko to Jeff Traylor. Urban Meyer is a name, Kellen DeBoer is a name, and they're all interesting. But the names that really stand out to me, the one that I think would be a slam dunk hire, is a Mike Elko. And the reason why I think Mike Elko would be a slam dunk hire, he's familiar already with the landscape of Texas A&M. He's familiar with College Station. And one of the chief complaints I had with Jimbo Fisher for years is that Jimbo was an offensive coach. Name me the last time anybody was scared of Texas A&M's offense. You can't. Yes, there have been teams saying, hey, they have one of the best wide receiver rooms in the nation, and I have said that. I think the wide receiver room at Texas A&M right now is one of the most underrated units in all of college football. You give those guys a competent offensive coordinator and a quarterback that can maintain their health, and they're going to put up huge numbers because they have that much talent. But the problem was always that the Jimbo Fisher offense did not inspire me. And it didn't inspire the own offense he was coaching because time and time again, the offense was not the strong part of Texas A&M. In fact, it was the defense. And I would always pose the question, Nick Saban would be held to the fire if for 5 years straight, the defense was worse than the offense. Not by a small margin, but by a statistical margin. I'll put it to you like this. Last year, Texas A&M's defense was a top 25 defense in the nation, and the offense was 97th in the nation. That was your head coach, your offensive guru head coach, who continually put up one of the worst offenses in the nation. which is exactly why I think Mike Elko would be a phenomenal hire. Because through so many of those years where Jimbo was there, it wasn't the offense that you had to really worry about. It was that Texas A&M defense. And Mike Elko had those boys playing at an elite level. He now goes to Duke, and that elite level of play is continuing, where he is showing he is a head coach you need to be on the lookout for. I love that he already has the experience in College Station. I love that he has head coaching experience at the Power 5 level now. And I love that whenever he was there, he ran the best part of that team consistently, which was the defense. That's why I think he's such a unique name, but he is not the only unique name. Jeff Traylor, the UTSA head coach. This would be a fantastic hire because whenever you ask high school coaches around the state of Texas, they love Jeff Traylor. You give him the resources of a Texas A&M, and I think he's going to give you fantastic results. The question is it a big enough splash hire for the Aggies? The reason I ask that is because I think the Texas A&M administration is going to be more concerned with getting a big name than getting a name that may fit like a Jeff Traylor, but could be a little bit of an experiment, could be a little bit of a, hey, we need to be patient. And here's why I bring that to your attention. Because right now, Texas A&M is in win now mode. But I am of the belief, and I am of the mindset, and I'm opening this up to the comments because I cannot wait to hear your opinion. Winning now is not the mindset Texas A&M should have because they have never won previously. Is this a premier job? This job has all the capabilities of being premier. You have fantastic facilities. You have fantastic alum willing to contribute to the NIL funds for your university. You have unlimited funds. But Texas A&M has never been able to capitalize on these things. And so trying to win now, that's great. But trying to establish a winning culture and a winning environment is far more conducive to long-term success, and both of those can be implemented at Texas A&M. And if those things are implemented at Texas A&M, watch out. If Texas A&M can find a guy that they're more concerned about implementing a winning environment as opposed to winning right now, and understand there is a difference here. We have seen coaches win immediately, but not implement a winning culture, a winning environment. Ed Ogeron comes to mind, where you win a national title, but instantly the cracks are showing. In fact, while you're winning, the cracks are showing. It's just that winning cures everything. The next year, that team that LSU fielded was not good. It's because LSU was more interested in winning quick than winning correct. Texas A&M now has to make the decision. Do they want to win quick or do they want to win correct? Because with all of the resources at their disposal, if they figure out how to win correct and implement a winning culture, watch out. That could be a scary thing for college football, and I can't wait to hear from all of you. Hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.